Get those raid passes ready, trainers, because Wild Area and the lead up event Into the Wild is packed full of top tier raid bosses, and you don't want to miss this. Raids will be rotating every single day, and some of these raid bosses are only going to be here for one day. So in this video, we're going to go through the raid schedule for all 7 days, both the 5-day Into the Wild lead up event, as well as the Wild Area main event on Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th. We'll go over the raid boss schedule for each day so that you can prioritize the raids that you need the most. We'll also look at each raid boss individually in detail. We'll discuss things like the meta relevance, both in PvE and in PvP. We'll go over the top counters as well as some budget counters and the difficulty so you know how to best prepare for each one. We'll look at the shiny forms, the hundo CP, as well as any adventure effects or other details that you might want to know. Starting on Monday at 10 a.m. local time, Lugia and Mega Salamence will rotate out of raids, and in their place we'll get Palkia and Dialga Origin form, as well as Beedrill and Ampharos in Mega Raids. On Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, we'll have Drillbur and a Max Monday, so there will be no raid hour on Monday. However, we will have raid hours every single other weekday this week. On Tuesday, the Ultra Beast Nihilego will be in 5-star raids, and Nihilego will have a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Nihilego will be in raids for just one day because on Wednesday, Tapu Koko will be taking its place. So Wednesday, November 20th, we'll have Tapu Koko in 5-star raids with a Tapu Koko raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. On Thursday, November 21st, Origin Form Dialga will be in raids, also having a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local. And then on Friday, Origin Form Palkia will be coming into 5-star raids, also getting its very own raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, is the Wild Area event. During the Wild Area event, we'll see 4 different Tier 5 raids: Origin Form Palkia and Dialga, as well as Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon. So all 4 of these extremely powerful and meta-relevant Pokemon will be in raids for both Saturday and Sunday. These 7 days are the main event and where you should prioritize and focus your time and energy. However, Origin Form Palkia and Dialga will continue to be in 5-star raids after Wild Area ends until Wednesday, November 27th at 10 a.m. local time, when we'll be getting Zacian, Zamazenta, Regidrago, and Regieleki. So Origin Form Palkia and Dialga will continue to be in raids on that Monday, Tuesday, up until Wednesday morning. However, they will not be able to know their signature adventure effects, Roar of Time or Spacial Rend. So definitely prioritize your Origin Form Dialga and Palkia raids between the 18th and the 24th, and only continue to do them on Monday and Tuesday if you really need candy or something. Let's recap the schedule real quick. Monday is Dialga and Palkia. Both of them will be in Tier 5 raids. Tuesday is Nihilego. Wednesday, Tapu Koko. Thursday, Dialga. Friday, Palkia. Saturday and Sunday we'll have Origin Form Dialga, Palkia, as well as Primal Kyogre and Groudon in 5-star raids. We'll also have 4 raid hours this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Whichever Pokemon is featured that day will be in the raid hour as well from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. And don't forget, raid hours in person this month only reward a guaranteed Rare Candy XL for every raid you complete. And if you plan on doing a bunch of raids this week, definitely consider buying the $5 Into the Wild Raids ticket. This ticket will give you 2 additional orange raid passes from spinning gyms, so you'll get your daily free one plus an additional 2 for a total of 3. You will also get an additional 5,000 experience points for every raid you complete, either in person or remote. We'll also get 1 additional candy, just regular candy, from any 4-star, 5-star, Mega, Primal, or Ultra Beast raid throughout the whole week. That will add up if you do a bunch of raids. This ticket also has a daily timed research rewarding you some Pokeballs, Dust, XP, and Toxel candy each day. And then one last thing to keep in mind as you look at the schedule for these 7 days is that Monday through Thursday, the remote raid limit will be increased to 20, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there is no limit. So we'll have unlimited remote raids from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If remote raiding is your thing, hop in the DittoBase Discord at discord.gg/DittoBase. Check out our remote raids channel. I am constantly hosting and joining remotes. We have a very active remote raiding community. And while these very meta relevant and exciting Pokemon are in raids, with the remote raid limit increase, this channel is going to pop off. So if you're looking to join or host, definitely hop in our Discord. I'd look forward to raiding with you and seeing you in there. All right, so there is our 7-day raid schedule. It's a little bit overwhelming. I totally get that. There is a lot going on. Some of these Pokemon are only here for 1 day, and pretty much every single one is worth raiding at least a little bit, if not a lot. So let's take a closer look at each of these Pokemon. We'll dive into details around how good they are both in PvE and in PvP, as well as some top counters to help you take them down. Starting off with Origin Forme Palkia, a top tier dragon type raid attacker and a top tier Master League pick. While I do think every single Pokemon this week is worth raiding, Palkia is the most important one in my opinion, and that is because of its signature adventure effect, Spacial Rend. Spacial Rend costs 5,000 dust and 5 Palkia candy to activate, but when you do activate it, it increases the radius in which you can see and catch Pokemon. So while it can get expensive to activate this adventure effect for a long period of time, it is game-changing and a must-have. It's extremely useful for events like Spotlight Hours and Community Days when we have increased spawns. Having this increased range on your map in which you can see and catch Pokemon is going to massively boost your catch rate. You can kind of think of this like trading a little bit of dust and Palkia candy in exchange for more shiny checks, more candy, and potentially more XP and dust depending on the bonus that the event has. So besides the adventure effects, Palkia is just a great Pokemon. It is the 4th best overall dragon type raid attacker with the moves Dragon Tail and Spacial Rend. Remember that Spacial Rend is the signature adventure effect move and it cannot be TM'd or elite charge TM'd. Palkias caught between November 18th and 24th have a chance to have Spacial Rend. So not all Palkias are guaranteed to have this. We don't yet know what the odds will be that your Palkia catches will have Spacial Rend. I do think that's a little bit discouraging. There's a chance you could catch a hundo Palkia and it doesn't have Spacial Rend and there's no way to give it that move currently. It doesn't mean that they won't add the ability to charge TM it or elite charge TM it or even something else in the future, but for right now, it either has it or it doesn't. Palkia is also the 22nd best overall water type raid attacker with Dragon Tail and Aqua Tail. So since it has the same fast attack, whether it's a water type or a dragon type attacker, you could give your Palkia 2 moves and it could be dual purpose, both top tier dragon type and a pretty good water type raid attacker. Palkia also shines in the Master League, coming in at the number 2 overall with Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Spacial Rend. So that's the same charged attacks, but just a different fast attack, and your Palkia can be a great Master League team member. The hundo CP for Origin Forme Palkia is 2367 or 2958 when weather boosted in rainy or windy weather. Palkia is a water dragon type. This makes it weak to dragon and fairy. Your top counters are going to be Origin Dialga, Origin Palkia, dragon is weak to dragon, Rayquaza, Enamorus, and Xerneas. Top shadow counters are Shadow Garchomp, Shadow Dragonite, Shadow Gardevoir, and Shadow Salamence. Top mega counters are Mega Rayquaza, Mega Garchomp, Mega Gardevoir, and Mega Salamence. If you have a Mega Rayquaza, Garchomp, or Salamence, definitely opt to Mega Evolve one of those because they are both super effective counters as well as boosting the candy and XP you get when doing Palkia raids. Origin Forme Dialga, while not quite as good as Palkia, it's still a very important Pokemon that you want to have. Origin Forme Dialga also has a signature adventure effect called Roar of Time. Roar of Time will distort time for 6 minutes, pausing the timers of Incense, Lucky Eggs, Star Pieces, and Daily Adventure Incense, extending their duration. So you could have a Lucky Egg, a Star Piece, and an Incense running, and then extend the timer on all 3 of those by 6 minutes by using Roar of Time 1 time. With the addition of the shiny Galarian birds, this adventure effect got much more interesting. You can now extend the time of your daily adventure incense from 15 minutes indefinitely. So if you're hunting for a Galarian bird or shiny Galarian bird, to trade a bit of dust and Dialga candy for a longer daily adventure incense and potentially more encounters with these Galarian birds. Origin Dialga actually ranks higher as a steel type, coming in at the 5th best overall steel type raid attacker with Metal Claw and Iron Head. It's also the 8th best dragon type attacker with Dragon Breath and Roar of Time. Origin Forme Dialga comes in at rank 32 in the Master League with Dragon Breath, Roar of Time, and Iron Head. Normal Dialga is also relevant in PvE and in PvP, and they both share the same candy. That goes for Palkia as well. Origin Forme Dialga is a Steel Dragon dual type, making it weak to fighting and ground. Top counters include Lucario, Terrakion, Therian Landorus, Keldeo, and Groudon. Top shadow counters include Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Groudon, Shadow Conkeldurr, and Shadow Rhyperior. Top mega counters are Mega Lucario, Primal Groudon, Mega Garchomp, and and Mega Heracross. The Hundo CP for Origin Form Dialga is the same as Palkia, 2367 or 2958, however it's weather boosted in snowy or windy weather. Both Origin Form Palkia and Dialga will be in Tier 5 raids starting on Monday, November 18th at 10 a.m. local time, however they will not get a raid hour until later on in the week. Remember, on Monday, November 18th from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, Drillbur will be the featured Pokemon in the Max Monday. On Tuesday, November 18th, Nihilego will be in Tier 5 raids. Nihilego is an Ultra Beast and was here earlier this year for Go Fest 2024, but it's coming back for this one day. It will also be getting a raid hour on Tuesday, November 19th from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Nihilego is a top tier poison type raid attacker, coming in as the second best overall poison type raid attacker. It needs to know the moves Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb to do the most damage. Neither of these are legacy moves, so this is a pretty cheap build. Nihilego can double as a rock type. It is the 22nd best overall rock type raid attacker with the moves Poison Jab and Rock Slide. Nihilego does not see that much play in PvP, but it is ranked 118th overall in the Master League with Poison Jab, Power Gem, and Sludge Bomb. Nihilego's shiny form is pretty cool. It has a yellow hue over its whole body, so it goes from this like bluish tint to a yellow tint. I think it's pretty sweet. Nihilego is a rock and poison dual type. This makes it double weak to ground, and it's also normal weak to psychic, steel, and water. Top counters for Nihilego are going to be Excadrill, Therian Landorus, Groudon, Duskmane Necrozma, Rhyperior, and Garchomp. Top shadow counters are Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Groudon, Shadow Rhyperior, and Shadow Garchomp. Top mega counters are Primal Groudon, Mega Garchomp, and Mega Swampert. You can mega evolve a poison or rock type for boosted Candy, Candy XL, and experience. So mega evolve an Aerodactyl, Tyranitar, Diancie, Venusaur, Beedrill, or Gengar to get the mega evolution bonus. Tapu Koko is next up on Wednesday, November 20th. This electric fairy Pokemon will be available all day on Wednesday, November 20th, and it'll also have a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. Tapu Koko is probably the least important of all of these raids we're going over today, but it's still pretty good. Tapu Koko is the 8th best fairy type raid attacker with quick attack and Nature's Madness. Nature's Madness is a legacy move, and Tapu Koko caught on this Wednesday will not have this move, so you will need to use an elite charge TM to get your Tapu Koko doing the most damage. It is still good with Dazzling Gleam as a charged move if you don't want to invest in Elite Charge TM just yet. It can also double as a mid-tier electric type raid attacker with Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. In the Master League, Tapu Koko is the least relevant of the Tapu family, coming in at 128 overall. As an electric and fairy dual type, Tapu Koko is weak to both ground and poison type moves. Top counters are going to be Therian Landorus, Groudon, Nihilego, Excadrill, and Duskmane Necrozma. Top shadow counters are Shadow Groudon, Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Rhyperior, and Shadow Garchomp. Top mega counters are Primal Groudon, Mega Garchomp, Mega Gengar, and Mega Swampert. If you do have enough players to take down Tapu Koko with ease, don't forget to Mega Evolve an electric or fairy type for bonus candy and bonus experience. And then on Thursday, November 21st, Dialga is coming back. So Dialga was in raids on Monday, and then it's coming back on Thursday all day. It'll be the featured Pokemon. It'll also have a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. We already went over the details and the counters, so that brings us to Friday, where we'll have Origin Form Palkia as the featured Pokemon, also with its own raid hour. So that will conclude the Into the Wild lead-up event to Wild Area. On Saturday, November 23rd, starting at 10 a.m. local time, the Wild Area event will begin, and it will run from 10 to 6:15 p.m. local time, both Saturday and Sunday. During the Wild Area event, we will have both Origin Form Palkia and Dialga still hanging out in Tier 5 raids, but we'll also be getting Primal raids. So both Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon will be appearing in Tier 5 Primal raids on this weekend. Primal Kyogre is the #1 water type raid attacker, both as a normal Pokemon, both as a Primal reverted / Mega Pokemon, and as a Shadow. So in all three of the categories, it takes the #1 spot. Primal Kyogre is also pretty tanky. I recommend 5 or more trainers, high-level trainers, to take down Primal Kyogre. 7 to 9 trainers if you're looking at some mid-level 30s or something. So as I mentioned, Primal Kyogre is the #1 overall water-type raid attacker with the moves Waterfall and Origin Pulse. Origin Pulse is a legacy move, so you will need an Elite Charge TM to teach it that move. You can't Primal Revert in PvP, but normal Kyogre is also meta-relevant in the Master League, coming in at 54th overall. overall. The Hundo CP for Kyogre is 2351 or 2939 when weather boosted in rainy weather. As a water monotype, Kyogre is weak to electric and grass. Top counters are going to be Zarude, if you have one powered up, I don't yet, Zekrom, Kartana, Xurkitree, and Raikou. Top shadow counters are Shadow Raikou, Shadow Tangrowth, Shadow Venusaur, and Shadow Magnezone. Top mega counters are Mega Sceptile, Mega Venusaur, Mega Rayquaza, and Mega Ampharos. Top budget counters are Rillaboom, Chestnut, Tangrowth, and Venusaur. Primal Kyogre is a great Pokemon to have because it boosts 3 different types when it's Primal reverted. So you'll have coverage with your Mega Evolution bonus for electric, water, and bug types with Primal Kyogre. I recommend doing a handful of these so you have enough Mega Energy to Primal revert 2 different Kyogres. That way you can alternate between them during special events. Primal Groudon is another one of these special Pokemon that will boost 3 different types when it's Primal reverted. Primal Groudon will boost Grass, Fire, and Ground types, giving you extra damage in raids, but also extra candy bonus, excellent Candy XL chance when you reach Primal level 3. Primal Groudon is not quite as tanky as Primal Kyogre. It also is double weak to water type moves, so this Pokemon is not quite as difficult to take down. I recommend at least 3 trainers with top counters. Definitely opt for more trainers if you're not sure, or if all of your trainers aren't level 40 plus with high level powered up counters. Primal Groudon is the rank 1 number 1 best ground type raid attacker. Normal Groudon is the 7th best overall ground type raid attacker with Mudshot and Precipice Blades. Like a lot of these top tier Pokemon, they do need to know their legacy move to do the most damage, and Groudon is no different. Precipice Blades will require an elite charge TM, so wait until the event is over, or even maybe do a lucky trade after the event. Pick your best Primal Groudon and invest in that one. Groudon is meta relevant in PvP as well, coming in at 23rd overall in the Master League with Mudshot, Fire Punch, and Precipice Blades. Fire Punch is another legacy move, so this is not a very cheap build, and Groudon is outranked by Therian Landorus in Master League. So if you already have a good Therian Landorus, you might not want to do a Master League PvP build with your Groudon. The Hundo CP for Groudon is the same as Kyogre, 2351 or 2939 when weather boosted. Primal Groudon, however, is weather boosted in sunny weather. As a ground and fire dual type, Primal Groudon is double weak to water and normal weak to ground. Top counters are going to be Kyogre, Gyarados, Golisopod, and Primarina. Top shadow counters are Shadow Gyarados, Shadow Kyogre, Shadow Feraligatr, Shadow Salamence with Hydro Pump, which is kind of a weird build, but still viable. Top mega counters are Primal Kyogre, Mega Swampert, Mega Gyarados, and Mega Blastoise. And as always, remember, if your group has plenty of trainers to take down this Pokemon, Primal or Mega Evolve a ground or fire type to increase your Candy XL, and experience. So that covers all of our tier 5 raids for both Into the Wild and Wild Area. There are some other raids and max battles that you might want to consider doing during this event period. Throughout this week, Mega Beedrill and Mega Ampharos will be in Mega Raids. Neither of these Mega Pokemon are terribly good, but if you need them for your Mega decks, definitely do a few. During Wild Area on Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, Dynamax Toxtricity and Gigantamax Toxtricity will be available in power spots. Toxtricity is an electric poison dual type. This makes it double weak to ground and normal weak to psychic. Build a Dynamax Excadrill and a Dynamax Metagross to be best prepared for Toxtricity. Excadrill is going to do a massive amount of ground type damage because it's double weak to ground. Metagross has the psychic type fast move Zen Headbutt. It also has the charged attack Earthquake. Metagross is a bit tankier and bulkier when compared to Excadrill. I plan on doing a lot of Gigantamax Toxtricity, so I'm going to build both a Metagross and an Excadrill and then have maybe one of each on standby that I could power up on the fly if I need to. Toxtricity is not meta relevant outside the Dynamax and Gigantamax systems, but the Hundo CP is 1486 or 1858 when weather boosted in rainy or cloudy weather. There's so much going on over this 7-day period, it's not going to be possible to do it all. So take a look at what Pokemon you have and what Pokemon you need and prioritize accordingly. It's very important that you have at least one Adventure Effect capable Origin Palkia and Origin Origin Forme Dialga. Those utilities will continue to help you out, not just as raid damage or PvP damage, but they'll also help you make the most of other events like Spotlight Hours and Community Days. Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre are also important because they boost 3 different types of Pokemon when Primal reverted. Nihilego and Tapu Koko are both good Pokemon, but they don't have this special added bonus of the adventure effect or the triple Primal revert bonus. So while it would be great to have at least one of those with good IVs fully powered up, if you have to cut something, I think cutting one of those is probably your best bet. So good luck out there this week, trainers. Try not to burn yourself out too much. And remember, if you want to host or join remote raids, hop in the Diddlebase Discord at discord.gg/Diddlebase. I will also be live streaming throughout the week, taking remotes or sending remotes during my live streams. So I hope to see you in the Discord or in the live stream chat. And until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.